These are the best games for November on Steam. Places are based on the number of reviews and user ratings. Arcade full of cats. A game in the genre of searching for objects. Great game for relaxation. The musical component is great. You don't have to play, but just listen to music and enjoy. Here you can play slot machines with your own theme, from space to the underwater world. A huge plus for the well-designed interior for each period of time, it causes attacks of nostalgia and megatons of tenderness, because there are a lot of cats here. The game is free, but you can buy DLC. The funds go to help homeless and abandoned cats. Moreover, looking for cats is always exciting, and the arcade simply amazes with its secrets. I recommend you relax between games that set your chair on fire. RoboCop, Rogue City. This is the first big good game under the RoboCop license in the last 30 years. Become an iconic half-man, half-machine cop and try to bring justice to the dangerous, crime-ridden streets of old Detroit. Explore open areas and complete tasks based on your own sense of justice. Searching for evidence, conducting interviews, and maintaining public order are just some of your daily tasks as a police officer. But make your decisions carefully. Your choice can determine the fate of citizens and the outcome of the mission. A crime wave has hit Detroit, and a new enemy threatens public order. The investigation takes you right into the heart of an insidious plan, the events of which unfold between the second and third parts of RoboCop. Visit iconic places and meet familiar characters from the world of RoboCop. The gameplay is a pseudo-open world shooter. There are very good side quests. They are long, with inserts from videos. There are a huge number of different exploding things in the game. They can be set on fire by shots or simply thrown at opponents. Motorcycle throws are especially spectacular. The fights are great. Well, it's almost like in the movies, except that the enemies are fatter and don't die so quickly. Sometimes even a burst from the famous pistol will not be enough. The result is a great game, made with love for the legendary 1987 film. Like a Dryden Gaiden, events take place after Part 6 and right up to the very beginning of Part 8. The game tells what Kiryu was doing and why he disappeared from all radars. According to the classics, there are intrigues, dramas, mysteries, unexpected turns, and so on. The game basically answers some of the 7 questions and explains how certain things happened and why. But there is still no answer why Kiryu changed his appearance in 8. However, looking at the ending of the game, I want to know what will happen next and what its consequences will lead to. The ending itself is very strong. Since Kiryu is again the main character, we have combat here again, beat 'em up. There are 2 styles, Yakuza, standard style, and the agent style. Side quests suffer due to the timing of development. A huge part of them are beat that one. There are, in principle, fewer of them than in other parts. Of course, there are some interesting ones, some with unexpected twists, but they all end in just a banal fight with people. But the Colosseum is another matter. It is the best. Lots of battles, opponents, conditions, starting from a regular battle, ending with wall-to-wall, where you need to gather your team and upgrade it. Well, where would Yakuza be without a hostess club? Thank God I'm not in the role of a manager, but just going there. I was surprised that the developers put real people in there. You still have to answer questions correctly in order for the girl to like you and get a scene in the end. The result is an excellent part of the Yakuza series, which completes the story of Kiryu Kazuma much better than 6. Of course, in additional aspects it is noticeable that the game was made in a short time, but this does not prevent it from being exciting. Stronghold Definitive Edition. The classic RTS plus city simulator game has now been updated with new graphics and fresh features. Collect resources, build mighty castles, protect your people, replenish the treasury, train armies, and go to war. Stronghold Definitive Edition brings together the best of 20 years. The game features 2 classic campaigns of 26 missions and a new single-player story campaign. This exclusive new 14-quest campaign will take players through England's devastated hinterland on a quest to find Sir Longarm's kidnapped niece, before experiencing the new historical Castle Trail series of 10 individual scenarios. Great remaster. I would like to note the innovations that improve the gaming experience and make the game more enjoyable, the main one being autosales. But there are no basic functions that were even in Crusader, for example, replenishing stones for catapults and trebuchets all at once and not separately. This is very annoying and disturbing. New tracks have appeared in the game, and they are not inferior to the original ones. Multiplayer has been added for added replay value. Backpack Hero. This is a non-standard take on the usual roguelikes with the construction of assemblies. This game is not about what you wear, but how you organize it in your backpack. Proper distribution of things has a big impact on the character's strength. Find the right place for them in your backpack to enhance them. Explore ancient dungeons, caves, swamps, and other interesting places. Make friends with colorful heroes and fight deadly enemies. And make sure you don't get lost. Ensure the prosperity of your monastery to attract new residents. Buy and sell items, conduct research, and unlock heroes, challenges, and quests. As you build the perfect city, you will restore the world of Orderia and save the animals living in it. Very charming characters, nice pixel art, great music, and classic JRPG gameplay refreshed with inventory management right on the battlefield. And, in fact, this is the main advantage of the game. Different characters have very different and interesting approaches to building, plus a bunch of modes that complicate or simplify the race. And, in fact, what else do you need from a bagel? The Talos Principle 2, a first-person puzzle game that will make you think more than once. It largely develops the philosophical themes of the first game and will offer you many amazing levels with very difficult riddles. You were born into a new world. Humans have long since died out, but their culture lives on in the city of robots. You have to go on an exciting adventure and discover the secrets of a huge mysterious structure that conceals enormous power. This is a very good continuation of the first part, an almost perfect sequel. Why practically? Because the game is not without some shortcomings. Firstly, the puzzles have become much simpler. Secondly, almost all new mechanics, and there are a lot of them here, and this is a big plus, are used only in their own zone. At most, you can meet some of them in other riddles a couple of times. On the one hand, it seems to be good that you don't have time to get tired of the same mechanics. On the other hand, it was not enough to use them a little more widely. And thirdly, the ending is rather vague in terms of riddles. After 11, the zones look somehow very faded and do not cause any challenge. Otherwise, this is a great game. There are excellent graphics, a good soundtrack, a signature philosophical plot, and of course, wonderful puzzles. For the King U. The creators of For the King, the famous RPG that combines roguelite and board game mechanics, are opening a new chapter in the story of Farrell. The updated engine will make the gameplay more enjoyable for both returning heroes and new adventurers. For the King I is easy to get started, but mastering it requires skill, patience, and strategic thinking. The procedurally generated map ensures that each new playthrough is unique, making the game infinitely replayable. The unique but familiar mechanics of movement and battles based on dice rolls make the world even more spontaneous and diverse. The campaign For the King I will take over 30 hours. It is divided into 5 separate adventures that are connected by plot. It's a long and difficult journey ahead, but fear not. If your team fails, next time you'll be stronger, wiser, and better equipped at the start. For the King I is reminiscent of the good old turn-based classics, but there's more depth to this beloved mechanic thanks to a new combat grid where movement and positioning can give you or your enemy a buff or penalty. Protect your back row with a powerful tower shield, push enemies into a puddle of flames, or bind melee combatants with dark magic using weapons looted from defeated enemies. Farrell is beautiful and scary at the same time. You will pass through many different regions and admire their artistic style. Dense forests, poisonous swamps, lava fields, and tropical seas teeming with pirates and merlings await you. You will see all the wonders of Farrell. It is important to note that the game has the lowest rating among this top 70%. Players are annoyed by randomness, but there are a lot of reviews, so I included the game in this collection. Roboquest is a dynamic first-person shooter with roguelite elements, which can be played either alone or in co-op for 2. Shoot and run your way through randomly generated levels, picking up upgrades along the way and blowing up the big and bad bosses you encounter. Upgrade your camp and unlock permanent upgrades to customize your playstyle and get even further in your next runs. The game was in early access for a long time, but it was worth it. If you're looking for a decent co-op roguelike shooter, this is the best option on the market. Gunfire Reborn, compared to RoboQuest, feels like a shooting gallery where you play as a disabled person. Here the emphasis is on your skill, while there are plenty of builds, characters, and weapons. Take it with a friend, you won't regret it. SANABI. This is a fun action platformer set in a dystopian world. You are a legendary veteran who retired but was forced to return. You will have to go through a metropolis that is controlled by a vicious conglomerate. You are ideal for this mission because you have a mechanical arm with a chain hook and can quickly maneuver to defeat your opponents. Your goal is to track down a mysterious entity called SANABI and discover the secrets the city hides. Your huge mechanical arm with a chain hook will help you both move quickly and instantly deal with your opponents. You skillfully use your prosthetic to jump from cliffs and skyscrapers, dodge bullets, overcome traps, and defeat opponents. At the beginning, it seems that the main thing in the game is the gameplay with a somewhat interesting, but secondary plot about search revenge violence. However, in the second half of the game, a feeling of something is wrong begins to form, and the last 1/5 gives away the plot so much that it is impossible to tear yourself away, and it turns into the strongest element of the game. The game provides a good challenge in the form of story bosses. They are varied and do not come easy the first time. The visual style is also very pleasing. The artists did their best and created an epic background for a huge tower, which is based in a city with 1 million population. I highly recommend the game to fans of the genre. Risk of Rain returns. The cult roguelike game Risk of Rain is back. New playstyles, unique loot, new survivors, updated multiplayer mode. In the mysterious attack on your ship, many manage to escape. All survivors have unique abilities. The cook can shred everything in his path, the defender can hold back enemies and cover his team, and the player favorite monster Acrid can spray poisonous mucus. Try out different playstyles by choosing from 15 characters. The remaster turned out great. Shoot, loot, charge the portal, and do it quickly. These words can easily describe the main gameplay of any part of the game. You appear in a location where chests with items are randomly scattered, which can be opened for money, which, in turn, you earn by killing monsters, which, in turn, appear around you throughout the entire level until the final charging of the portal. The portal also appears randomly at the location, and after its activation requires 90 seconds to charge, as well as killing the boss, which appears immediately after activation. Unlike the second part, while charging the portal you can do anything, anywhere in the location, since your main task at this moment is to survive. The portal becomes infected on its own, and you do not need to stand close to it to complete the location. Moving around the location is a pleasure. The only thing that is extremely inconvenient mechanics is shooting. Specifically, at this moment in the game, the character shoots in the direction he is looking, and if you continue to shoot and change the direction of movement, the character will not change the direction of aiming. Fortunately, the developers promised to add a way to aim with the mouse in the coming patches. Regarding the items, I was pleasantly pleased with the presence of content from the second part, as well as some rethinking of the items from the first part. If you liked the episode, please like it and I will be glad for your subscription to the channel.